Hello, 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 hello! Hello! We're live again, but we're probably going to delete the first stream because it wasn't very good. So, not again. The first stream didn't happen, so we're live for the first time today. We're live for the first time today. Can you believe it? Anyways, maybe I should do stream starting soon while we wait for people to roll in.
Well, I need to figure out how this rolls out.
Yeah, we'll figure out the TikTok thing and then we'll start. Alrighty. It delays with saying how many viewers they are. It's not accurate. It'll say that there's 0 and there'll be 3. Or it'll say that there's 3 and there'll be 0. It doesn't update fast.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah. Oh, hello. Thank you for the follow, Cece. How are you doing today? What do you think of the fish mask and the ostrich mask? It's fun, right?
Crazy.
It's interesting, isn't it? So, we are the zoo crew. Our whole thing is that we're flight attendants and we talk about work, basically, is our whole gimmick. And today we were going to discuss work horror stories that we have, such as animals pooping down the aisle, or people pooping down the aisle, or, I don't know, security threats we've experienced, or medical situations, just not nice passengers, you know, just your average awful customer service stories. Well, maybe not average.
Definitely not average.
Maybe not average. It's an interesting job, but that's the plan for today. Let's start with.
Shall we just get right to it?
Let's start with the story that actually, let's start streaming on TikTok and then start with the stories. Maybe. But I can't see anything in this mask, Cece. I can't see anything at all, and I keep bumping into stuff. It's hazardous. It's not good. It's not good, Cece. Not at all.
Oh my gosh. I don't know why, but I can't find us on TikTok.
I don't know.
Any hoosers?
Yeah, I mean, can't we just go live like we did the last time? Why? What's going on?
You have the account unless I guess I can try and sign in.
I mean, we can't go live on the main one because the main one doesn't have enough followers. I mean, on your private one. And then direct people here.
I don't want to do that.
You don't want to?
Too risky.
Then let's just stream on Twitch then.
Yeah.
We won't be able to stream on TikTok, not unless we have like 50 followers and we don't have any. Because we only just made it 5 minutes ago.
I know.
So, let's just do the stream on here, like we planned to.
Oops. I can multitask.
Okay. Well, I want to keep y'all
Waiting. So
entertained. So
I think we should start off with your story.
I'll start with my story. So, we land the plane, and right when the seatbelt sign gets off, and we're at the gate ready to, deplane all the passengers, this old lady, elderly woman, gets up and runs to the bathroom, and we're like, that's fine, a lot of people run to the bathroom after landing because they've been waiting for landing and, getting to the gate safely. They've been waiting for it to be safe to get up, for the seatbelt sign to turn off. So, it's normal for passengers to, run to the bathroom immediately after landing. Don't think anything of it until we start to smell things. Bad smelling things. That smell was human poop. She had diarrhea down the aisle. She was only in row like 5, so it wasn't as bad as it could have been, you know. It's not like she was in row 50 or something super far back, diarrhea all the way down 50 rows. But yeah, there was human poop all down the aisle. And so we don't notice it until it starts to smell. So a few people have already stepped in it because she didn't say anything. She just went to the bathroom. She just ran into the bathroom the second we opened it, and we were like, all right. I mean, she was having an emergency. She was focused on getting in there, so it makes sense. A lot of people would do the same thing. I don't have any ill will for her. I feel very bad for her. This sweet old lady just had an emergency, and she waited until it was the right time to get up. But if you're having an emergency, like a diarrhea dripping down your leg down the aisle type of emergency, please tell us, and we'll let you go to the bathroom. It's not safe. Technically, you're risking your safety, and we do need to warn you about that. But if it's an emergency, we'll let you use the bathroom. Because that's getting biohazard everywhere. Anyways, so because we're landed and passengers are already getting off, because we didn't notice what it was or realize what it was, because no one said anything until a few passengers had already exited, like, I don't know, 10 of them. It's hard to breathe in this mask, so that's why I sound out of breath the more I talk. But so then, we I need to catch my breath, sorry. So then me and the rest of the crew, we're trying to stop passengers and be like, hey, hold on, cleaners are gonna come on in a minute. You can't walk this way, you can't walk over the biohazard, you need to sit in the aisles and wait. Or we can open from the back of the plane and have people exit from the back of the plane if you'll just wait a minute. But everyone's like, I'm in the front, I don't wanna have to wait to go out of the back. I don't wanna be the last one on the plane. I paid extra to be in the front. I paid extra to be one of the first people off. I am not waiting. Or they just completely ignore me and refuse to stop and just walk right over the poop because they're ignoring me. They're not hearing me say, there's human poop biohazard on the ground for you to avoid. Do not walk on it. Do not put your suitcase over it. Do not roll your suitcase over it. This poop is getting everywhere. But people aren't listening. Everyone is making announcements and stopping the passengers and being like, wait, there's biohazard. You cannot walk over it. Wait here, they'll open from the back. And everyone's like, I am not waiting. I'm getting off of this plane. So everyone just walks over it. So what I do is I grab a napkins and gloves, and I cover the poop with napkins because people are just refusing to not walk on it.
That's crazy.
And then, people are still walking on the napkins and spreading them all over, and it's like they're getting knocked off of the poop, so I just have to keep adding more napkins. It's getting everywhere. It's a nightmare. No one's listening. No one's stopping.
No, of course not.
Everyone just wants to get off. They don't care to listen to instructions anymore. They're in the mindset of, we're getting off this plane. You can't tell us what to do anymore kind of mindset. So, looks like I have a beard with my hair being stuck right there.
That's so funny.
But, so, I have all these seafolds down, all these napkins down. And this little boy, he's I don't know, 6, he comes along. He's not listening. The adults aren't listening. Why would the children be listening? But a lot of the times, children are better listeners and more smart than adults, I feel like, in this industry. But this kid starts doing hopscotch on the napkins.
That's crazy.
He starts doing hopscotch on the napkins, and we're like, oh my God. Yeah, and then once everyone's off the plane, because no one listened, no one was willing to wait, everyone just if they did listen, they just walked around it. And I'm like, you can't really walk around it because everyone spread it around by walking on it and rolling their suitcases over it. There's really no avoiding it at this point. But people are avoiding it to the best of their ability.
Could you imagine if somebody actually picked it up, like the napkin.
Ugh.
That would be horrible.
No. So then we get the cleaners on after everyone's off. And the cleaners are not thoroughly cleaning it because they're disgusted by it and they don't want to touch it. So they're just kind of rubbing it into the carpet instead of like scooping it up and like properly cleaning the area the way that you're supposed to in that sort of situation. So then we have to get their supervisor on to be like, hey, they're not cleaning this properly and that is gonna get people sick. That is how illnesses start. You can't board a flight with poop still stuck in the carpet that's not clean. That's not good. So we had to get their supervisor on to make sure that they like actually cleaned the plane properly.
Did you have to take that plane back out?
Yeah.
Oh, that's rough.
We had to do another flight on the poop plane.
No.
On the poop plane. Yeah,
Oh,
so not
that's
fun. And it's just crazy that kid did hopscotch on the poop napkin. But yeah, that's one of my craziest flight stories. Now it's your turn.
I actually had a crazy story with like a animal that was like in a pet carrier. So during flight, this lady took out like her French bulldog. Love bulldogs. I think they're so adorable. But she picked him out and then had him on the lap. So of course, like I walked up to the front. I asked, the other crew members, I said, hey, is this like on the paperwork, does it actually say it's like an actual like pet in cabin or like a service animal? And they said it was a pet in cabin. And so I went back to her and I said, hey, your dog has to be in the carrier with it completely zipped up. And then next thing you know, she's like, it's a service animal. And I said, well, according to our paperwork, it's not. And then she was like, but it has anxiety. And I said, okay, then you can go to the back in the lavatory and calm it down.
Mm-hmm.
And then next thing you know, I guess at some point after I left, got up, started walking in the cabin. Don't know how this happens, but all of a sudden I looked down as I was doing trash. I stopped, and there was like diarrhea in like by the exit row.
Disgusting.
I know. When they talk about first class, I didn't really realize they were debating on like the smells and stuff. Anyways, so I like put the trash bag back, grabbed coffee grounds, sprinkled it all over the aisle, and then everybody like started thanking me, and I'm like, guys, like I'm not even done yet. And like as we were landing, this all happened like right before we were supposed to start cleaning up. I put a trash bag over it, thinking that it would help at least like people with like their luggage wouldn't get like poop particles on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I called the back because final rang, and I asked them, I said, do you want to do final? And they said, well, the dog ended up puking in the back.
Ooh.
And so I have to clean it up, and it's bumpy because of course the state that like we're going into is just naturally bumpy.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, I did final. I did the announcement, and the other coworkers are dealing with that in the back. And then all of a sudden I go to the back and I say, what do you need help with? And the lady goes, oh, I just need the bag from the overhead bin. I can go grab it if you just want to hold on to the dog. And I said, I got it. I walked all the way up to where her seat was, grabbed the bag, brought her the bag, and she goes, I am so sorry. And I said, once you're done, you can just take your seat. And I just walked away.
Yeah, that's crazy to lie about it being a service animal. I hate when people do that. I had a friend who would go to restaurants. She bought like a fake service animal vest off of eBay. Her dog was not a service animal.
That's crazy.
And just so that she could take him into restaurants and stuff. And she's like, oh, it's for my anxiety. And I'm like, you do not have such bad anxiety that you need that. I have other stories about her. Not a great person, but
Not you,
No,
like
do
outing
you
her
want-
that she's not a great person.
well, do you want to hear the story?
I mean, yeah, this is story time.
Sure. Okay.
You're like, let me get comfortable.
So, it's a messy one. I had a crush on this girl, and we had a lot of layovers, long layovers, where she was staying, but they were really bad pay, really bad layovers. It was like one short flight there, you stay for 24 hours, one short flight back. So terrible, terrible pay, because we only get paid for the flight, you know, and it's a short flight. And then we basically have a day off because it's such a long layover that we're not working when I could be working on that day, and then one flight back. So then that day that I'm working, it's a really bad shift. And I'd explained this to her multiple times, and she just didn't get it. She lived 15 minutes away from the airport, 15 minutes away from the hotel that we stayed at. So she could have picked me up from the airport, 15 minutes there, 15 minutes back. I guess that's 30 minutes, that's a bit of time. But I've picked up people from the airport when I lived like an hour away from the airport, and I did not care. I did not care in the slightest that I was driving 2 hours to get you and come back because you're my friend, you know? Right. So 15 minutes, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous to be weird about. But anyways, she's like, oh, I don't like driving. It scares me. Come to find out later on when I told my friend this story about her, that's a mutual friend of hers, she was like, no. Every single time that I call her, she's driving. And she's always like, I just love driving.
Crazy.
So she was refusing to drive 15 minutes to pick me up or drive me to the hotel or the airport. Either would work. It's only 15 minutes for you. You're smack dab in the middle of both for me. Like, God. So I Uber every time. And she insists that I pay fully for the Uber instead of like splitting it. Because she's like, well, you're working to come here. And I'm like, I dropped a really good work shift to come here. I'm losing money by coming here. This is not, oh, well, you're working to be here. You're getting paid to be here. So you can pay for the Uber. That's ridiculous. I made sure that you were free on these days so that we could hang out. And she's really flaky about that. So I'll like, if I make plans to see her, I need to multiple times be like, remember, keep this day open. Remember, you said you would be free on this day. Keep it open. So she comes from a very, 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 very wealthy background. Really well off. Like, living in the same neighborhood as celebrities. Like, she drove me through her old neighborhood that she grew up in. Crazy mansions. Insane. Huge. So she's living in, like, a penthouse in, like, smack dab in a really nice, really expensive city to live in. She's paying $100 a month in rent to stay there because it's her parents' place. But her parents pay her $100 a month to watch the dogs. So really, she's not paying rent. She's not paying rent. But then she's constantly being like, oh, you know, money's so tight. Like, I'm paying so much in rent. I have to work. I have to take care of the dogs. I have to work. And I'm like, that's not working. That's taking care of your family pets when you're living there for free. That's not working. She does work part-time as like a, what's the word? It's like what Pam was in The Office. They greet you at the door.
Receptionist?
She was working as like a receptionist part-time, but not even part-time. She worked like maybe 2 shifts a month. And this was the other thing that like she would she would refuse to work. And then she would be like, well, I don't want to work a lot because I want to live a luxurious lifestyle where I don't work very much. But then she complains about not having money. And I'm like, okay. So anyways, she's very strangely flirty with me, even though she has a boyfriend. And then before she gets kind of weirdly flirty with me, we were talking about crushes in the past, and she was like, who was the last person you had a crush on? And I was like, oh, you know, I haven't had a crush in like years. It's been a long, long time. And she was like, oh, well, who was it? And I was like, well, it's been years. it's been years. I can be open about this without it being a weird thing. I was like, honestly, I had a crush on you back in college. Funny thing. And she was like, oh my God, I had a crush on you at the same time. This was when I went to meet her boyfriend for the first time. He walks in the door, and instead of saying something normal, she's like, hey, this is my friend, Madam Carp. We were just talking about how we had crushes on each other at the same time in the past. Meet my boyfriend.
That's such an awkward, like, introduction.
Terrible. It was awful. It was terrible. And then she suddenly, even though she has a boyfriend, starts being super flirty with me. And so I was planning to have a talk with her about boundaries. And then she breaks up with her boyfriend. And we run into him because he works in the apartment building that she lives in. That's how they met.
Crazy.
So we run into him, and she knew that she was going to potentially run into him. She knows his schedule. She knows when he's going to be down in the lobby potentially. And she got all dressed up for it. And I was like, are you getting dressed up because you think you might run into him? And she was like, yeah, I am. You caught me.
Oh my
She's
God.
like, I want to make him jealous. I want him to see me looking all nice and be like, oh, I'm missing out. Which is fair. That's understandable. But then she gets way more flirty than she's ever been and like almost kisses me in front of her ex when we run into him without warning me that she's going to use me to make him jealous. All the while making me pay for all the food, making me pay for the Ubers. When they were dating, she would make me pay half for his portion of the food too.
Girl.
I
would have left.
I pick up all these shifts that are bad hours. I'm losing money visiting her, and she just is that way. And she's just so strange about boundaries. I don't know. So I was gonna have a chat with her about boundaries. I pick up a shift. I make sure, again, I do the same thing I always do. I'm like, hey, make sure you have this day off. Make sure you have it off. I want to see you. Make sure you have this day off. And she's, every time, the like 4 times that I asked, she's like, yeah, I got it. Don't worry about it. Then as I'm working the flight there, the day before, she's like, hey, do you mind if I pick up a shift tomorrow? I can't, like, money's tight right now. I need to make rent. And I'm like, rent? You mean the $100 that you're getting paid by your parents to pay them back? Like, and she's like, yeah, I need to pick up a shift. Money's tight. And I'm like, that's understandable. For most people, I would have more sympathy, but you refuse to work. You refuse to work. And it's a known thing. Like, when I talked to our mutual friend about this, she said that she's had the same exact conversation with you about how you complain about money, but then you refuse to work. Like, you don't work.
You want to know what's annoying too?
Yeah.
When people lose their boarding passes.
Yeah. But anyways, it is annoying. But anyways, so she's refusing to work, but then complaining that money's tight. And then the one day that I want to hang out with her, that I'm going to be in town, I'm missing money to come here. I've been telling her for a month, make sure you're free on this day because I want to have a chat with her about boundaries. She's like, oh, I want to pick up a shift. And she's like, is that okay with you? And I was like, honestly, it's kind of not. I want to see you. I'm losing money to come see you. I wanted to have this day off, and now I don't, and I lost a good work hour shift to come here. So, no, I would like to see you while I'm here. And then she sends me this huge paragraph being all, you are disrespecting my boundaries by not being supportive of me wanting to pick up a shift. You shouldn't have said that you would rather I didn't. I didn't even say anything crazy. I was just like, honestly, I'd prefer if you didn't. And then she sent this whole paragraph. Like, why ask? Why ask how I feel about it if you're gonna be mad at me for saying that it upsets me? Like, ridiculous. So she's like, in all caps, she's like, I already asked Gerald if I could pick up a shift tomorrow. And I have to pay, in all caps, rent. Like, you're not paying rent. You're not paying rent. You're not working. You could pick up a shift any other day because you don't work any other day. But no, it has to be on the day that I'm in town. Then the next day, she's all, hey, We can hang out. I can't go to work because I have measles. No, chicken pox. But we can hang out. Like, if you've had it in the past, you're not going to catch it from me. And I was like, A, I haven't had chicken pox in the past. B, no, no, I'm not going to hang out with you when you're sick and contagious with chicken pox. I might not catch it from you if I've had it in the past, which I haven't. But I'm going to spread it to my passengers. I'm going to spread it to my crew. I'm going to spread it to like at least 200 people. No. No. And then she's like, are you sure? We can go to a park and we can hang out from like 5 feet apart. I really want to see you. And I'm like, I'm just so mad because I wanted to see her purely to talk about boundaries and about how crazy it is to use someone to make your ex jealous without asking them first if they're okay with that. And I'm, you know?
I do know.
And then you go and do that. You go and tell me that I'm disrespecting your boundaries because you did something that was incredibly rude, I think.
I'm so tired of being
And you
annoying.
get mad about it when I'm like, hey, that's kind of not cool. Yeah, I'd rather you don't. Then she's like, a few hours later, she's like, hey, great news. They think it's something that like involves like skin mites in your skin. She's like,
Skin bites?
yeah, she thinks it's like bed bugs or something. Like,
Crazy.
She thinks it's skin mites. So she's like, great news, we can hang out. It's not a contagious disease.
Oh,
I just
skin
can't be,
mites.
like, we can just hang out from 5 feet apart at like a public park or something. And I'm like, absolutely not. I'm not risking getting skin mites by hanging out with you. And honestly, I didn't want to see you after you said that thing about boundaries because I came here to talk to you about boundaries. And this is not boundaries, and you're saying that it is. It's not. It's not boundaries, and you're saying that it is, and it's upsetting. And I'm so mad that I'm stuck here now. When I don't want to be. Like, I didn't even want to see you. I just wanted to have this chat in person with you and probably stop being friends after. I just wanted closure. So, you know, I'm just going to get out of this without any closure and not see you again, was my take on it. So then I'm like, no, thanks for trying to make the time, but let's not hang out, not when you have skin mites.
Skin mites is crazy. Do you actually believe that was a thing?
She did send like photos of her rashy skin, and she was like, no, I can't even go to work because I'm sick. And I'm like, that's the other thing. If you were going to the doctor the whole time that you were texting me being like, no, I need to pick up a shift tomorrow, you knew you were going to call out sick from that shift, so why are you making such a big deal out of it, is the other thing.
Right.
Why are you making such a big deal out of me wanting to hang out on the day that we made plans to hang out, where I'm flying out to see you and wasting my day off and dropping a shift on the next day that's really good hours for a really bad hour shift to come back? Like, I'm losing so much money here, and I'm paying for the Uber to see you.
Madam Carp.
Especially one time when I went to see her, there was a huge music festival going on. The Uber was like $80, and she wouldn't drive. Crazy. Yeah, no, not a fan of her. No, and she does the same stuff to my friend too. Like my friend, she's dating a guy who is Christian, but not Christian enough for this girl. So she is telling this girl, who is her friend, it's not your boyfriend. Your boyfriend, a big part of why you broke up is because he's not religious. He's not religious, and you're trying to make him religious. And then our mutual friend is dating a guy who is religious, but not enough for you. And you're telling her that she needs to break up with him. And you're on the phone with her, on speaker, knowing that he's in the room, like, offensively speaking negatively about him not being religious enough. And trying to, like, that's so disrespectful. It's insane. It's so hard to breathe, oh my God.
Well, yeah, because you're on a rant.
But yeah, why? That's not any of your concern that he's not religious enough. He's not your boyfriend. He's her boyfriend. You're a really bad friend for doing that. That's insane. So yeah, that's my bad story of people taking advantage of, sometimes people will take advantage of us having layovers where we can see them. It's like, yeah, I'm getting paid to be here, I guess, but would you say that to your friend that worked a shift the same day?
No.
That lives there? Like, oh, well, you worked a shift today, so you can pay for dinner. No, you wouldn't. Why is it different for me? It's like, oh, you worked a shift today, so you can pay for dinner because you're getting paid to be here.
Crazy.
How is that any different from hanging out on a day off and being like, oh, well, you worked yesterday and you work tomorrow? So why wouldn't you be the one paying? It makes no sense. None at all.
It doesn't make sense.
It's so frustrating.
Just like how the Mile High Club doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you have a story about that one?
Yeah, you're trying to move on from this rant so hard.
I am.
But yeah, sometimes people are strange about us visiting on layovers or us visiting on our days off. It's like, well, you didn't have to pay for a flight to be here. Yeah, but what difference does that make? But anyways, yes. And do you have any stories similar at all to that? Is anyone taking advantage of you visiting them?
No, because I don't go out. I live in my hotel room. I do. I live in my hotel room. Otherwise, taking advantage? I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess I've had passengers take advantage of my niceness. Yeah, not very nice.
No, that's interesting.
No, yeah. So, like, for an example, well, I guess it wasn't really my doing, but there was this other, like, flight attendant that moved somebody closer to her family. And all of a sudden, like, you know how sometimes when kids get upset, you ask them, be like, well, why are you so upset? You know?
Yeah.
Just to distract them.
Yeah.
Well, she asked the kid that was crying, who was about 2.5 for context clues, okay, guys?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really a baby, it's more like a toddler. They can, like, start forming sentences. And then just, like, out of nowhere, she asked him, she goes, well, why are we so upset? And the mom snapped, which she moved to be closer to the family. She goes, well, he's a baby, that's why he's crying. I looked so shocked, so quick. I was this close of saying, well, technically if he's a baby, he wouldn't be talking now, would he? Over it.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. That's why the majority of the time I don't really help. Well, I help people out. I just don't, like, you can pay for your seat.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What
Yeah.
should we talk about next?
Let's see the list. Let's see what else is on here. Oh, I can't find my boarding pass story. So one time, I was very new. If I was less new, I would have kicked this person off and had security meet them because what they did was technically sexual assault. But anyways, this woman comes on. She's like 30. She's like 35, probably. She comes on and she's with like her grandparents, elderly grandparents. So I figure she's genuinely making a mistake when she does this, because why would you not be on your best behavior when your grandparents are right there next to you? Doesn't make sense to me.
Doesn't make sense at all.
No, it doesn't. So she shows me her phone and it's like, I can't find my boarding pass. And on her phone, it's the home screen and there's only one icon in the corner. So you can like fully see her background. And her background is her fully naked on top of a stripper, like down low phone angle. Like
What?
completely wide open, this lady in this photo on top of a naked stripper. And that's her phone screen background. And you can see the whole thing because there's, again, only one icon in the corner. There's nothing disrupting your view of this image. Clearly intentional that she did this, but I was like, no, She's with her grandparents. They're right next to her. No way is this girl. She must genuinely not be able to find her boarding pass. So I'm like, oh no, you have to open the airline app to get your boarding pass, or I can find you on the manifest, or if you have the physical, if they handed you a physical piece of paper at the gate, that's your boarding pass. You know, there are ways to find it. That's not your boarding pass. Please, that's not appropriate. Please change that. Please close that. So she does eventually find her boarding pass and get to her seat. And I was like, how strange, how bizarre, how I don't even know how to react to that. I'm just gonna move on. And then I tell so my coworker and I start talking after we're done with our service in the air about weird, just about our day. And I was like, I had this really strange thing happening during boarding. And she's like, oh my God, the same passenger did the exact same thing to me. And then we go to the other galley and we talk to the other flight attendants, and she did the exact same thing to all of us when we were alone. She went up to each of us individually when we were alone and showed us her boarding pass that she couldn't find. Yeah, so sometimes you need to kick people off and call security for sexual harassment, not just for women, but sometimes not just from men. Sometimes you get it from women too, when they're traveling with their grandparents, apparently.
That's crazy.
That's technically assault. That's technically flashing someone. That's showing someone adult photos without their knowledge or consent of that's what's gonna happen here. Not fun. Not fun. But pretty funny. Not funny, but kind of funny.
We're gonna take like a 5-minute break real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have to plug in my laptop. Okay. Be right back, y'all.
Oh, you we forgot
Thanks.
to unmute. Sorry about that. But we're back. Yeah.
Yes. So I think the next story I should tell is something that happened to me recently.
Ooh.
So, your girl over here is a fellow smut reader.
Mm.
Hi, Book Talk. I'm part of that club.
I'm not.
So the book that I'm reading is basically about, well, it's dark romance.
Ooh, is it fairies? I've heard the fairies they get really freaky. The fairies.
No, it's not Akatar. It's Sick Boys.
Sick boys.
It's so good. You have to read it.
Wait, what type of sick? Are these like...
No,
I
it's
have
about
pneumonia. I have to have sex.
I mean, okay, so there's 3 guys. It's basically M on M and M and F. And basically, it's about like, I don't know, it's strange. But it's interesting because I read it for the plot. Not so much the romance, but for the plot.
Some of those are good for that. Like the, what's it called? The fantasy books that everyone reads.
Yes.
Like,
But it's just interesting. You have to get through like the crazy stuff.
mm-hmm.
So anyways, my book was chilling like on the counter at the plane, right? And this captain
Ooh.
picked up my book
Disrespectful.
after I told him what it was about.
Oh.
And then he flipped open the book and I have like all these tabs of the fun parts.
You have them tabbed?
Yes.
You said that you skip over them and you're just reading it for the plot. That doesn't sound like you're reading it for the plot.
Look, okay,
Yeah,
I'm like reading the fun parts, and then like, the main reason why I enjoy those books is because of the plot, like the mystery behind it. I could see your face fine.
Sure.
And the next thing you know, like, he opens up the book on one of the tabs and he reads a very fun scene out loud. No passengers were like in the plane, but he did read a part that was very explicit.
That's funny. Wait, was he an attractive captain though?
He
How
had,
an attractive
he
guy?
had an Australian accent. Oh no, he
Oh.
was from Polish.
Oh, someone with a hot accent reading
We
that
love
to you.
that.
That's kind of hot, actually. That's, it's like, it's embarrassing, but it's kind of hot.
It's so
And
nice.
honestly, sometimes being embarrassed is hot.
Yes. And so he read it in front of like, I don't know, he read it in front of like a couple other crew members. And my face just got cherry red. I got embarrassed. I grabbed the book and I said, "And we're going now.
I'm going now.
Let's go to the hotel because I'm over this." But I just got very embarrassed.
It was an OJI for your mental health.
Yes.
Your mental health took such a hit. You have to. Job injury.
It was just a lot. I don't know. And after that, like, because I bring physical books on the plane, like, after that, my apologies, after that, passengers kept asking me what I was reading.
Oh no.
And I couldn't read. I was so close to finishing the book, I couldn't finish reading the book. It was just a lot. Do you have any embarrassing stories like that?
I've had passengers pay too much attention to what I'm reading, where like, I've been flying the same routes a lot recently, too much, where passengers like have started to be like, "Ow, how's Lord of the Rings going?" And I'm like, "Who are you? How do you know I'm reading Lord of the Rings?" And it's like, "Oh, you were on my flight last week and you were reading it." And I'm like, it's going good. Why do you remember that?"
They're just really
Yeah.
like, I don't know, they're really
Like, don't make conversation with me.
observant,
Yeah.
I guess would be a better word for it.
And they like to eavesdrop too much. Like the story I told on our last stream when I was like, the girl that I said during takeoff, I was like, well, not during takeoff because we can't talk then, we're in sterile, but like around that time, sitting in the jump seat when we could talk, being like, "Oh, go, like, it's too bad we have to go around this weather. I wish we could go through it. And then we just look out our window and it'd be like the Wizard of Oz, you know, going through a hurricane. We'd see the Witch of the West. We'd see Toto. We'd see Dorothy. And then like 2-3 hours later, when we're cleaning up the cabin for final and like doing seatbelt checks and everything, this girl that's like 6 rows away from me. So she was, how did she hear that? I don't know. But she's like, if I look out my window, am I gonna see Toto? And I was like, you remember our conversation from 3 hours ago? You were listening to that? You're what? 8 feet away from me? Why were you listening? That's strange. That wasn't a conversation that involved you. Why are you joking around like it involved you? Which I couldn't say that. I had to just put on good customer service and be like, haha, you're so funny. But internally, I was like, this is incredibly strange. This is really, really very odd. Incredibly odd. They pay too much attention.
They do.
Which is why it's so crazy when people will read things like 50 Shades of Grey or like, I don't know, I've had passengers reading like manga, like hentai on the plane, and it's like, put that away. People pay too much attention. You think no one's gonna notice you reading that? They're gonna notice. Put that away.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of like understand that because
I can understand reading smut, but not hentai. People can see the photos. People see the cover. Cover it with a like dust cover from a different book. Don't do something. Read it on your phone with a privacy screen on. Like, reading 50 Shades of Grey, people are gonna judge you when they see the title, but like, you know, they're not gonna know what words you're reading. But if you're reading a comic, people are gonna see the pictures if they glance over. People are curious. People pay too much attention.
they do.
Don't read that.
You know, I kind of see what you mean by like they pay too much attention.
Yeah.
Because one time there was this guy, as like we were taking off, we had this medical, and as we were literally taking off, it was a short flight. It was like less than an hour, and I guess this guy was like gushing with nosebleed.
Ooh.
And I mean, like, he had like tissues and tissues and tissues, and like he was holding it and he was bleeding through.
Ooh.
And I was like doing service whilst the other person was handling with the medical. And I guess all he could ever focus, as his nose is constantly bleeding, was how pretty I was. And she was like trying to get like his age, sex, and stuff like that. And all he could say was, oh my God, her hair is so pretty.
That's such a compliment, though. You were like,
do you know what color her hair was?
his delirium angel.
Oh my God.
Like, I mean, it is concerning that he was like probably lost so much blood that he was in a state of like, an angel. She's so
I don't know
pretty.
what it was. So I thought he was actually kind of cute, you know? So I decided to hit on him. And so I took the funny route and I wrote it on like a napkin and I said, if you ever want a seat that's better than the nosebleeds, you can text me. And I gave him my phone number. It was so funny. I guess we were like so like there every step of the way, where he gave me his phone number and I gave him mine as we were like deplaning. So it was like,
Did you meet up with him? Did you go on a date?
I did.
How was it? Did he
It
get
was
a
horrible.
nosebleed after dinner?
It was bad.
What happened? Why was it bad?
I guess he like didn't like my awkwardness. He thought it would be like better. It's like,
yeah, people have too high expectations. They're like, you're a flight attendant, you must be like super like extroverted and like good at talking to people and stuff. And it's like, at work, yeah, because that's my job to be that way, but not outside of it. No. I'm just a normal person outside of it. I'm not gonna be like, let's go all the time. I am pretty let's go though still. I'm a pretty energetic person, but I'm pretty awkward. I'm not gonna act like a super up class fancy flight attendant all the time. Classy, I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like my personality is great, but I don't know what happened during that time. I think it was because I actually went on a date with like a passenger.
Yeah.
I don't know. So ever since then, I kind of like took a step back, and I'm like, okay, I would not really hit on passengers that much, because that one instance. I think it's because like his head was like bald, and like he went to like another country, I guess, to get like the hair growth implant.
Oh.
Yeah.
He went to Turkey.
Yes, I guess.
A lot of pilots need to do that. It's just a requirement for the job, I think. You need to be predisposed to losing your hair.
So funny.
You're going to be the first in your bloodline to lose hair. It just comes with the job. You can't be a pilot and have hair. They're all gone.
No, there's some out there.
You can date a pilot that has hair. It's only going to last a year or two, and then it's going to be gone.
There's some out there.
It's a rare, rare thing. Rare.
Not that it's a rare thing. Girl, please.
That's why we need more female pilots. Because they don't bald.
Some of them aren't bald, though. My ex was not bald.
True. He will be. And give it 5 years. He'll be bald.
I don't know about that.
But, yeah, they just pay too much attention. Passengers. Or they act like it's a bar or something and we're like, I don't know, waitresses that can be hit on. It's like, I guess, it's a big fetish for some reason. Flight attendant uniforms. It's the same as like teaching and things like that, you know?
I guess.
Hot teacher, hot flight attendant, hot receptionist.
And you want to know the thing that I don't get still to this day? What's people's fascinations about the Mile High Club?
I don't get it. One time I had this old man, like, he went into the bathroom and then he like stuck his head out of the bathroom and he was like, "There's no toilet paper in here." And we were like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And we went to get the toilet paper and then he was like, I'm just kidding. This guy's like at least like 70. Probably like 75. I'm just kidding. And then he comes out of the bathroom and we're just like, "You're so funny. Ha ha, you got us." You know, good customer service. And then he goes, "So if I touch myself in the bathroom, is that joining the Mile High Club?" And then I said, "I don't like that kind of talk." And he said, "It's not a song." So I guess he thought I said, "I don't like that song." And he's like, "I'm not talking about a song." And I was like, "I don't like that type of talk, sir. You say that again, you're getting kicked off of the plane. You need to go back to your seat." And he's just like, What is a joke?" That's not a joke. That's sexual harassment. That's strange.
That's just crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had people ask and be like, "So is the Mile High Club real?" And I look at them dead in the face and I said, "No, it's what the private airline's for."
Exactly. Take that flight over Vegas, the 30-minute one where they like set up roses in the back.
Yeah, and it's just, they were all like, "Oh, so it's not real?" And I go, "Do you know how often they clean those bathrooms? They don't clean them thoroughly. They don't disinfect them."
Huh?
I said, "They don't clean them thoroughly. They don't disinfect them."
No. They clean them like once a month. And
maybe.
Not thoroughly.
Maybe as like a possible deep clean,
They
sure.
probably just spray them down. They don't, I'd be surprised if they scrubbed anything.
Right.
It's gross. That's why I never sit directly on toilet seats on the planes, and I always disinfect them, just in case I accidentally touch them. I disinfect the whole thing. And then people are like, "You took a long time in the bathroom," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm disinfecting everything I'm going to potentially touch before I touch it."
Period.
The floor, the wall, because it's a skinny place. You're going to probably hit the wall. If you hit any turbulence, you're hitting the wall. I'm sure that men who cannot aim or are strange and do it intentionally have peed on that wall. I'm not touching that wall. Someone's probably projectile puked on that wall, missing the toilet. I'm disinfecting the wall. I'm disinfecting the door. I'm disinfecting the toilet seat. I'm disinfecting the sink, everything. And so it's like, yeah, I do take a minute in there. And I think everyone should do the same thing as me. And you should also disinfect your tray tables. You know how many passengers on flights to Orlando or, places that have a lot of tourist attractions for kids, or cities that a lot of people have a lot of kids, like, I don't know, Salt Lake. You know how many people change their infants on the tray tables instead of going to the bathroom?
Again.
And then they get mad at me when I'm like, that is a biohazard. You can't be doing that. People eat there. People sleep there. You're going to give someone pink eye. You're going to give someone C. diff. Like, you can't.
C. diff.
You can't change a
Not
baby
the
on a
C. diff.
table that people are going to eat on and sleep on. You can't do that.
And that's why, just like last week, there's
Yes.
changing tables.
Yes, there's changing tables in the front, back, every section of the plane has a changing table, unless it's like there's two bathrooms right next to each other. Then it might be like, oh, the one on the left side has a changing table, the one on the right doesn't. But if it's like there's one in the middle, one in the back, one in the front, each of them is going to have a changing table, because it's not near enough a different bathroom. So, just use the changing table. Why? I can understand if it's like turbulent the whole flight and you don't want to risk getting up with your baby while the seatbelt sign's on. I've had passengers be like, hey, is the seatbelt sign going to turn on anytime soon? I need to change my kid. And I'm like, let me ask the captain. And the captain says, no, it's not going to turn on for the rest of the flight. It's going to be bumpy for the whole thing. Then I'm like, okay, well, I can give you a trash bag to put the baby on top of so it's not touching anything directly. And I'm still going to biohazard that row once you get off, because that's still not enough. That's still not clean to me.
Speaking of biohazard,
Yeah.
I have another story.
Ooh.
So this is when I first started, right? And I was doing trash. It was day. It was a morning flight.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing you know, I come back walking up to the front. I look down and I see condom wrappers on the floor. No condoms itself. Just the wrappers. They were opened. They were on the floor.
What did they do with the...
I don't
in
know.
the bathroom? Where was this?
On the plane.
In the seat?
It was like row 6.
Why?
I
How
don't
would
know.
you even... I mean, you do find crazy things like that, though. Like, you find used diapers, you find underwear, you find bottles that someone decided to pee in instead of getting up and using the bathroom.
I've heard that happen.
You find used tampons, and it's like, what did you do? Did you take, did you take it out with a guy, sitting right next to you just because you didn't want to get up and use the bathroom?
That's
and just
crazy.
and throw it on the floor? Like, it's insane how disgusting people are.
No, for real.
Don't have any faith in humanity because they'll let you down. Don't trust that anyone is going to be clean, because they won't. They're gonna let you down. Inevitably.
Ever since then, I haven't found one on the floor.
Yeah, assume the worst. Disinfect everything on any planes or any public space that you're in, This applies to everything. Do you think they deep clean the seats at baseball games?
No.
I'm sure there's some really strange things that they see there. I'm sure there's poop, puke, pee, all things that you can imagine on those seats, on the seats in the planes, everywhere. Don't trust anything. Clean everything. And you know what you also can't trust?
What?
Dishes. Dishes in other people's houses. You can't trust that either. And
Kitchens?
I wish that I could go to someone's house and be like, do you mind if I wash this plate before I use it? Just I trust that you washed it, but I just want to wash it a second time, because people will puke in bowls and then use it as a popcorn bowl. People will use knives to cut up poop in the toilet, and then they'll just put them in the dishwasher and reuse them. People are disgusting. I went on a date with someone who told me that she would reuse a bowl, and then every day of the week, and then she would just rinse it out with water, and then once a week she would wash it with soap. which, like, she was like, well, it's fine because only I use that bowl. So I guess, like, I'm not going to get sick from eating at her place, but she's probably going to get sick from her bowl. You
That's
can't trust
crazy.
people. You can't trust people. Or it's like, if you cut up raw meat on, like, a cutting board or something, the first one wash is just a rinse. Second wash is just a rinse. Third wash, then it's clean. Okay? And take your shoes off. Take your shoes off when you enter a house or an apartment. Because, like I said with the poop situation, people will walk over human poop. They don't care. And I'm sure they did not take their shoes off when they came back home. Most of those people, I'm sure, did not. And also, why are people going into the bathrooms in the planes without shoes on? It's a very common occurrence. You know how gross those planes are?
It needs to stop.
He needs to stop.
It
It's
needs
insanity.
to stop.
Like,
You know, one time I was working this flight, and there was a guy that was on my flight somewhere in California, and he got mad at me for telling them to sit down because it wasn't safe. The seatbelt sign was still on. And then we were with the cart, and all of a sudden he goes, you said it's not fair. The seatbelt sign is on, and you can't tell people to sit down. And I said, actually,
that's my whole job, sir.
all I'm literally allowed to tell you is the seatbelt sign's on, and it's not safe to get up. And then all of a sudden, he goes again with the pointing. He goes, you said this and you said that, and I just wanted to bring the cart up, and I'm like, I was this close to just saying, let's go ahead and turn around and go back to where we came from because I'm not dealing with all this. Never again.
Crazy.
So then
Ridiculous.
he goes into the lavatory. He pees all over the wall. There's a puddle on the side of the wall.
What is he, a cat? A dog?
I don't know, but I think he deliberately did that.
I know, that's insane. That's like cat behavior. One time, my cat, I changed her food too quickly. Because I did do the recommended, how you're supposed to very slowly change a cat's food. But she didn't like her new food, so she didn't slowly transition because she didn't eat enough of it when I did the transition. So then when I stopped giving her old food and went fully to the new one, her body wasn't used to it because she wasn't eating the new one for the transition period. So she gets sick and she doesn't like her new food. And what does she do to get revenge? She sticks her butt against the wall, holds it there, and poops. I wake up in the morning to a lump of poop on my wall, stuck to my wall.
That's
not
crazy.
on the floor, not in the litter box, on the wall.
She knew what she was doing.
She absolutely knew what she was doing. That's animalistic. To be like, I'm mad at you, I'm gonna pee on the wall. That's insanity. Men, they're so fascinating how their brains work. They're so terrible in most ways.
Why?
How do they function?
Oh, I mean, in
When
that
they- when
instance,
they're
I
so-
have no idea.
Like, what goes on in their brains?
I mean, a little
to,
kid,
like,
I get.
To even think of that as an option, to be like, oh, I'm just gonna pee on the wall.
I don't know.
Crazy.
I told that story to like another flight attendant, and they said that I should have had like cops meet us at the gate because it was
It's
like
biohazard, and it's
no, I guess they
defacing
considered
property.
it as like God, what's the word?
It's
Vandalism.
Yeah, exactly. It's vandalism.
I'm like, okay, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, should have. That's
Shoulda, woulda,
insane.
coulda. It's okay. It's just like saying like about like the seatbelt sign. I don't know. Just don't walk into the lavatory barefoot. Make sure your seatbelt's on because you don't know when turbulence will happen.
One time I had this guy get on the flight and I was super, super new, or else I would have kicked him off immediately. He gets on the plane and he like does like a little like sign, and then he like grabs me like this and is like and I'm like, don't touch me, sir. And then and everyone just thinks it's funny. Everyone's like, what a silly jokester.
What a silly goose.
What a silly guy. He must get all the ladies with that attitude. Like, how is that appealing? What girl likes a guy going, he didn't put his arm around me, he did like this.
Oh.
What girl
I really,
is like,
don't touch me.
is like into that? That's childish. It's strange. And I'm like, so I'm like, okay, this guy might be on some sort of substance. Let's keep an eye out for him. And then he doesn't cause any issues for the rest of boarding until right when we're about to take off, when we're doing our like checks after the safety demo, he refuses to put his seatbelt on. He refuses to put his seatbelt on, so then I get a different coworker. Wait, was that you?
What do you mean?
Wait, no, that was not you. This story was a long time ago. I was like, it was all of us, all the flight attendants on that flight were all from the same training class. So we'd all only been there like a week, okay? So no one wants to call security. No one wants to risk that when we're all on probation. We should have. I advised that we should have, but majority wanted to keep him on. So we kept him on. So he's refusing to put his seatbelt on for us to. And then we get the guy flight attendant involved, and he's like, come on, bro, give me a fist bump. You're not going to let these girls tell me what to do. Yeah.
Oh, I would have been so mad.
Honestly, the guy was more shocked than we were, because we were used to, like, misogyny. But he like, it was his first time, like, seeing it so bad firsthand. So, like, just obviously, just what else could you explain that as? That's misogyny. He was just like, he was the maddest of all, because he was like, that's ridiculous for him to be like, come on, bro, we're both guys. You're not going to let me listen to these girls. You're going to let it slide, right? We're both guys, man. Come on. Don't listen to these bitches. Like, he was so shocked. And I was like, we're about to take off. Everyone was like, we're about to take off. It's too late to take him off. So he puts his seatbelt sign on. He puts his seatbelt on. Finally, when the guy is like, come on, man, you gotta put your seatbelt on. But he's so mad for the rest of the flight. And then when we land, this guy, like, he's in the window seat in his own row. And there's a girl in front of him that has the row to herself, and she's in the aisle seat. And he's, like, trying to reach and, like, touch her from, like...
Oh, absolutely not.
Between the seats when we land. And so we should have called security on him. I said that multiple times, but majority didn't want to. So we just have him get off first, and so that he's like away and not causing issues, and like he's probably on some sort of thing to be acting this way. So we just, if he has a medical from it, not on here, get off. So we just have him get off first when she tells us that he's doing this, and like we move her away from him. And he's like, thank you so much, man. You guys are the best, because he thinks he's getting like special treatment and that we like him, and that's why he's being let off first.
That's so annoying.
Terrible. It's just, oh my God. I can't stand the time that I spent when I was based in that other base, like I told you, like I mentioned before. They were so much more relaxed with the rules there. In the new base that I work at, you act like that, you would have gotten kicked off the second you did this. The second you were like
for real.
throwing up like weird signs and like hitting me on the shoulder. Sorry. Doing this. Sorry. You would have gotten kicked off. You would have gotten kicked off the second time that something happened, when you refused to put your seatbelt on and were like so demeaning to me, refusing to listen to me because I'm a woman, and only listening when a man tells you, but trying to be like, give me a fist bump. I don't have to put my seatbelt on. Why is it such a big deal to put your seatbelt on?
I'll be like, yes, you do.
Like, he only put his seatbelt on when the guy was like, we're going to have to go back to the gate and kick you off if you don't put your seatbelt on. And then he was like, okay, man, fine. Like, all those things could have been avoided if we just kicked him off immediately when he was acting strange, like I wanted to.
You know,
and if we were in the base I'm in now, he would have been kicked off immediately. But people are just too relaxed there.
I too had a passenger touch another passenger, and it was just so annoying.
It's awful.
No, but for real, like this one was actually like human trafficking.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So I was at another base, and actually no, I don't know what this guy was on, but it wasn't human trafficking.
Mm-hmm.
I was mistaken with another incident, but this one, either way, it's a good story. I'm telling it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
This one, we were going to Detroit, and this guy, I don't know what he was on, but he was definitely on something.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just kept touching people from like the side of their hip.
Ooh.
Yeah. And so I moved him, and then he kept touching somebody else, so I moved him again. And then some other girl got like scared, so I moved her to another spot just to save trouble, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now not only this guy has the whole back row to himself, but he also has the row in front of him all by himself. And he kept saying, so like the backpacks were on the seat, and he thought they were like people that were like smaller.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, yo, are those like small people over there? And I'm all like, no, bro, I have no idea what you're saying. It almost like he was on shrooms.
Yeah, thinking that
But anyway,
backpacks
so
are people?
what?
Thinking that backpacks are people?
Yeah, he thought they were actual people.
Yeah, he was on something psychedelic, like acid.
I have no idea, bro, but tell me why. How did he get through security? But
Mm-hmm.
long story short, this one flight attendant was so concerned for my safety about going to do the second service.
Uh-huh.
He told me to basically go hide in the bathroom while he did like a quick walkthrough, which was
Yeah.
fine, you know, like I get it. And so like we almost had to put him in like cuffs.
Really?
It was bad.
What was he doing? So he was still trying to touch people?
Yeah, well, more so like he was trying to touch me.
Mm.
And I told him, I said no, and I tried like making sure he was okay. I gave him some water to try and see if that would help filter through his system. It didn't.
Mm-mm.
So then when we got to Detroit, the cops met us there, and they were like, I don't know, they were just talking. He was making a big deal out of it. He was saying that like, at the end of it, hear me out, there was a big old food fight at the end, and there was spaghetti, and we started laughing. We go, we don't sell spaghetti. Did we get a question?
No, we got a bot that I'm trying to ban.
Oh, okay.
Best promotion on streamboo.org. Sure.
Oh.
I'm going to go to streamboo.org right now and get all the viruses that I possibly can. I love getting viruses on my computer. It's the best. I've already had one computer set on fire. I need a second one too.
What?
Yeah. My computer, when I was in college, my computer that I bought for college never worked. Whole time I had it, like, never worked. It would just shut off, and like charging it wouldn't work. Trying to fully start it on wouldn't work. It wasn't the brightness. It like I took it to multiple computer repair shops, and they were all like, "Yeah, there's no way we can turn this on. Something is corrupted in the hardware, and like you need to replace like major parts." And then I would send it to the company, Lenovo, and Lenovo would send my computer back and not do anything to it. And they were like, there's no issues here. I don't know why you sent the computer in. There's no problems with it. And then it would continue to not work it would not work for a week, and then it would work for 2 days, and then it would not work for a week. No way to get it to work. So I was just constantly, like, the whole semester, just so hard to breathe. The whole semester, I was just,
It's okay.
yeah. The whole semester, I was just like renting a computer from the library and using that instead of the computer that I spent like, I don't know, Lenovo's an expensive brand, probably at least like $1,000 on. Yeah. And then eventually, like right after my like year-long warranty ends on my computer, I'm like saying like a few days after. Immediately after my warranty ends, I'm sitting on the phone with my friend, and I'm like, why is there hair coming out of my computer? And then I'm like, oh, that's not hair, that's smoke coming out of my computer vents. And I'm just like, thank God my computer, because I was on my bed, I was like, thank God it was vent side up and not facing down on my bed, or else I could have like died in a fire from my bed catching on fire, from my computer catching on fire right next to me. And then we go to get a refund to try and like get money back for the computer that never worked the whole time we had it. And Lenovo was like, well, you can't prove that you didn't intentionally set your computer on fire to get money back. People do that. People will intentionally destroy their computers and then be like, well, give me my money back. And so they were like, well, you can't prove that you didn't overheat your computer intentionally to like make it catch on fire. And it's like, I wasn't even using it. It was just sitting next to me, unused. Like, I guess it was charging, but it was not, I wasn't doing anything to it to overheat it, and it caught on fire, and it hasn't worked. The whole time I've had it, it's just caused issues, and we've spent so much money because, yeah, they'll take the computer for free, but they're not paying for the shipping to take your computer to the manufacturer to make sure it's not irreplaceable. I don't know. To make sure it's not too damaged. To repair it. Yeah. So I sent it to them like 3 times, and I paid for like specialty shipping because it's like a fragile object and it has a lithium battery that clearly was having some issues because it caught on fire.
You're so funny.
Well, I guess it didn't catch on fire. It just started smoking, but still. So yeah, I've had computers catch on fire before. I don't remember what that had to do with the story, though. What was I going to say?
I can't remember.
Oh, I was like, when the bot sent the message, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to go to that website and get malware. I love malware. I love my computers catching on fire. It's the best. So, but yeah, that's crazy, that passenger story. Do you have anything more to say about it?
No. Not that one. It was just crazy because I never really like put 2 and 2 together that like our job was actually like that we were technically like first responders.
Yeah, we are, but then no airline really trains their employees enough to deal with medical emergencies, which is really upsetting. They all rely on hoping that there's medical personnel on board or relying on the medical services that we can call from the plane, and that's just not enough. Like didn't happen to me, but I know someone who had a medical happen with like the very last passenger on the plane. So there was no one on the plane, and pilots, they tend to leave if it's their last flight of the day. They tend to leave before boarding is done. So like no one to call StatMD, nothing. No one, just the crew freaking out. Because what are you going to do? We haven't been really trained properly in most medical situations. Hi. Hello. You're so cute.
Were we ignoring them?
But yeah, that's something that needs to change. That's a rule that's going to need to be written in blood, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's okay though. I don't have any more stories to share to you.
Let me look at the list.
I don't think so. We're gonna go ahead and take a short break.
All right. See ya. Oh, what happened? What was that? I can't see anything in this map.
It's okay. My apologies. I am gonna And we are back.
Hello. Okay, I can't see anything.
I got you.
It's so hard to see anything in these maps.
Alright, we got one last story for y'all.
Alright. Should I say one last story or should you?
You.
Okay, my last story is the time I got a death threat on the plane. So our flight was delayed. This was a long time ago. I believe for maintenance it was delayed.
Mm-hmm.
So we landed too late to have a gate ready for us. So we waited for, I don't know, not very long, like 20 minutes for a gate, and then we started moving. And when we started moving, still hard to talk in these things. When we started moving, this passenger rang his call light. So the other flight attendant makes an announcement being like, if you are having a medical emergency, please ring your call light again. If not, please turn it off. We can't get up and help you while the plane is moving. It's not safe. And so he turns his call light on again. So she gets up and she's like, how can I help you? What's the medical emergency? Is everything okay? And this guy is like, when is this effing plane gonna move? And then she's like, the plane is already moving, sir. And she's a little annoyed because, I mean, he just swore at her and the plane started moving and she announced that it was moving and not safe to be up, and he still rang his call light as if he was having a medical emergency because he heard the announcement. That's why he rang it a second time. And then he's like, I don't like that tone. You can't talk to me like that. I have a gun at home and I can find where you live. I have connections. I can find you. So she's just like, all right, and goes back to her seat. And then we have security meet us at the gate. So yeah, I mean, that's something that's nice about this job is if you work at like Jamba Juice or something and someone is like, you made my juice wrong, I have a gun at home, I can kill you. You can call the police, but they're not going to do anything. But in this industry, if you threaten my life, you're getting put on the no-fly list because technically that's terrorism, you know, which is nice. But it sucks that it happens. But yeah, so that's another one of my crazy stories. Don't threaten people. Be nice.
That's a crazy one.
Yeah.
I wouldn't believe like that would happen a lot.
Yeah. And the crazy thing was the guy across from him was also like, yeah, you tell her. You tell her. Yeah.
How about you get kicked off the plane too?
And another crazy part of the story was the guy that was rude to her was like, I'm not going to let a black B word tell me what to do. And the guy that was like, you tell her, was also black. So it's like, did you not hear what he just said?
That's crazy.
How are you hearing this white man saying these terrible racist things to this girl? And you're like, yeah, you tell her. So they both had security meet him. Because how are you supporting that behavior? You're encouraging it. That's adding to the threat. That is not helping to de-escalate the situation. So that is invigorating him to continue to act that way. So yeah, don't do that because security will meet you at the gate. This isn't Jamba Juice.
That's
You're
crazy.
never flying again. Congratulations. So yeah. And also, if you're upset about having to wait, guess what? Now we have to wait for security to get here, and we can't have anyone get off the plane until you're kicked off for, death threats.
That's
not
crazy.
fun. I mean, I can understand being upset about waiting, but it wasn't even a long wait to get a gate. It was like 20 minutes. It's ridiculous. So yes, that's another one of my stories. It's been fun talking about them.
Yeah.
It's been fun going over all of this. Hopefully we'll see y'all again in, I don't know, a week and a half.
Something like that, because I am going to San Diego.
Yeah, and I'm going to a place where the grass is really greener. So.
Anyway, so we'll see what happens.
But yes,
We'll
today
see you
was
in the
fun.
next one.
we'll see you next time. If you have any suggestions or anything you want us to talk about that you're curious about for airline employees, let us know. We have a TikTok. We have a Discord that we'll be linking in our Twitch profile. That'll be up soon. So yes, if you have anything you want to say, our schedules and things will be posted on there. So follow all of them. They'll be linked sometime. Probably within the next 30 minutes they'll be linked under our Twitch. So check back in an hour and they'll be there. But it's been fun. It's been cool to discuss this, and I'm sure we'll probably have another stream similar because
there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of crazy stories. This is only a very small amount of them, very small portion of crazy stories. Another thing we could talk about is crazy employees. There's some crazy people that get hired at these things, and it's how did you get hired? How? It's insanity. So we can talk about that too. That might be too messy of an idea. We might not do that one. But but if you have things like that you want to hear, suggest them. It's been fun. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.